In the digital shadows of the 1980s, when most Americans were just learning to use their first personal computers, one man was already mastering the art of infiltrating the world's most secure networks. Young Kevin wasn't interested in financial gain or causing damage. What drove him was something far more primal: curiosity and the intoxicating thrill of outsmarting systems designed to be unbreakable. But this was just the beginning. While other teens were playing video games, he was learning to social engineer, the art of manipulating people into revealing sensitive information. The 1980s saw the rise of corporate computer networks, and Mitnick's abilities grew alongside them. He infiltrated Digital Equipment Corporation's systems, not to steal money or secrets, but to study their proprietary software. This hack would later become one of his most famous exploits, leading to his first arrest in 1988. But prison couldn't contain Mitnick's obsession with technology. Upon release, he embarked on what would become a legendary hacking spree. He breached the networks of Nokia, Motorola, and Sun Microsystems, dancing through their security like a ghost in the machine. His technique was masterful, combining technical expertise with an unprecedented understanding of human psychology. By 1992, Mitnick had become the FBI's most wanted computer criminal. The stories about his abilities reached mythical proportions. Law enforcement officials testified to Congress that he could launch nuclear weapons by whistling launch codes into a phone. A technically impossible feat that nonetheless spoke to the fear and awe he inspired. For 2.5 years, Mitnick led authorities on a digital chase across America. He didn't just hide. He assumed multiple identities, used cloned cell phones, and kept one step ahead of his pursuers by hacking into law enforcement communications. The hunt for Mitnick became so intense that other hackers claimed the pursuit was unjust, launching cyber attacks against his pursuers. On February 15, 1995, the game finally ended. FBI agents, aided by fellow hacker Tsutomu Shimomura, traced Mitnick to an apartment in Raleigh, North Carolina. The arrest itself was anticlimactic. No dramatic standoff, just a knock on the door in the middle of the night.
It's over.
Kevin Mitnick, we have a warrant for your arrest.
I guess you finally caught me.
What followed was unprecedented. Mitnick spent 4.5 years in prison, including 8 months in solitary confinement. Authorities were so concerned about his abilities that he was initially denied access to a phone, fearing he might launch nuclear weapons or whistle control codes to NORAD. But this isn't a story of defeat. It's a story of transformation. In 2000, Mitnick emerged from prison into a world that had changed dramatically. The internet was no longer the playground of specialists. It had become the backbone of modern society. And in this new world, Mitnick's skills were suddenly in high demand. He turned his life around completely, becoming a respected cybersecurity consultant, public speaker, and author. The same talents that once made him the world's most wanted hacker now help corporations protect themselves against people like his former self. Today, Kevin Mitnick's story serves as a perfect parable for the digital age. It raises questions about security, privacy, and the fine line between brilliant innovation and criminal behavior. His journey from digital outlaw to security expert mirrors the evolution of the internet itself, from a wild frontier to a regulated, essential part of our daily lives. The techniques Mitnick pioneered are still relevant today. Social engineering, which he mastered decades ago, remains one of the biggest threats to cybersecurity. Companies now hire professional social engineers to test their defenses, using the very methods Mitnick helped develop. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Mitnick's story is how it demonstrates the dual nature of knowledge and skill. The same abilities that made him a threat to security now help protect it. His story has inspired countless books, movies, and even security protocols designed to prevent the very types of attacks he once executed. As we move further into an age where cyber threats become increasingly sophisticated, Mitnick's story serves as both a warning and an inspiration. It reminds us that security is never absolute, that human psychology is often the weakest link in any system, and that redemption is possible even after the most serious of transgressions. The legend of Kevin Mitnick, the Condor of hacking, continues to resonate in our digital age. While he can no longer whistle nuclear launch codes into a phone, not that he ever could, his impact on the world of cybersecurity is undeniable. His story remains a testament to the power of human ingenuity, the importance of ethical behavior, and the possibility of transformation. In the end, perhaps Mitnick's greatest hack wasn't any of his technical exploits, but rather his ability to transform himself from America's most wanted cybercriminal into one of its most valued security experts. It's a reminder that in the digital world, as in life, our greatest adversaries might one day become our strongest allies. Sound of vintage modem sounds transitioning to modern computer tones.